Today, we are attempting to solve a problem we've had on our farm for the past 3 years. Now let me show you what our problem is down here that involves our grain pit. Back 3 years ago when we installed this grain pit, we knew that water would be an issue with water getting inside the grain pit as well as water around the outside of it. So we tiled all the way around our 20-foot long grain pit with the hopes of taking all the excess moisture that could potentially go inside the grain pit and bring it down to the creek down there. But if we get up close, you can see there is standing water at the bottom of both of our grain pits. And with harvest right around the corner, we don't want to have to be going inside there, sucking out that water every day. So today we're solving that problem because we're starting to take away a little bit of dirt here. We're essentially going to be pumping a well right here to drain out all that extra moisture that's building up in the grain pit. From the top of this black mat on the top of our grain pit down to the bottom, there is a 10-foot gap of space that's supposed to fill up with grain. That way we can unload faster to drain harvest. So we know the water is at a 10-foot depth from the top of the ground level. What we're hoping to accomplish today is there is a well digger who will be here shortly, and he's gonna go down, right now the thought is maybe 20 feet. That way, with all the water right now that's staying at 10 feet, if we go another 10 feet below that, hopefully all that water should drain right over to this area where we're gonna start drilling the well. I personally have never seen a well that's actually been dug or drilled like we're gonna be doing today. But from the understanding, it's basically a large power washer that's gonna orbit down. Sounds like it could make a fair sized mess. So we're gonna cover up all these motors and controls for everything down here at the pit with a big tarp, so that way we just don't get mud and whatnot built up inside there first. It doesn't look the best. Looks kind of goofy, but should serve the purpose we need of keeping all the motors and whatnot free of dust and dirt when we start drilling down. So once we get that hole drilled out, the plan is we're gonna take a large PVC pipe, so basically just a large hollow pipe, and we're gonna stick that down in the hole, and then we'll have a sump pump with a hose, which will suck all the water out of that 20-foot depth. We'll dump that into another tile, and the well digger, the well driller, I think is what they call them, he wasn't sure if he had any piece of PVC that big, so we offered, if we need something, we'll take our trailer to a town nearby, pick some up. So we're gonna get this 20-foot trailer out and ready to go, just in case we need to run and get some things. And ready to go. Which truck are we gonna hook this other one up to? The diesel or the gas? Yeah. The gas? Now since this is the first time this year that we've used that 20-foot trailer, we've still yet to even grease it or check the air pressure in it since it's the first time it's been out of the shed, so we need to do that now. Grab the grease gun. Trailer should be ready to go now. Just need to find which ball hitch we need to put on. That way we can hook up the truck to the trailer. I believe it's a 2 5/16. If we're lucky, it might be, it looks like it is, right here in the back of the truck. With the trailer ready to go, I saw the well driller pull in down over by our grain pit. So we'll go see what we can learn about drilling a big hole, hopefully taking care of all of our problems. So here's how this process is working. They have a power washer here that they're sticking down into these PVC pipes and then sucking it out with this big vac. And that's all getting pumped up into the truck here. And that's slowly getting down lower and lower to the spot where all that water is getting hung up. Hopefully gonna go about 20 feet deep. Got this piece to put in now. Hooking up some other PVC to get down there to start doing some more sucking. Here's what it's looking like on the inside. Just soup that we're gonna start sucking out now with the vat right there. Let it go all the way in. Is there any more down there, or did you get them?
That should be all the rocks. For now.
For now, yeah. We're about 2 hours into it so far, only about 9 feet down. We need to get 10 feet, so we're at least below where the water is staying inside our pit. And as you guys have seen, we get those 4x4s, that's what we're using to hammer down and to get that PVC pipe lower. But we keep breaking them. So I think I'm 5 or 6 in already. Just came back into this shed. We're gonna grab a couple more 4x4s that we'll use to pound down that PVC. This one. We'll do this one.
Keep sucking and
Put a smaller pipe
we're
in.
9 foot to where that clay is.
Yeah.
So we're actually probably 10
foot deep.
right now.
Yeah.
But now, being it's all clay, I'm hoping we won't even put that pipe in.
And the water.
I'll just keep, well,
Sucking?
at the end we'll put the pipe in, but we'll just keep sucking, blowing, sucking. Because I ain't too worried
Of it caving in.
of it all of a sudden. What I was worried about is we're out here and all of a sudden that P-rock fell in.
Yeah.
Went underneath the basin, it would just drop here all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know, not that it's gonna drop a long ways, but
Right, it could drop.
yeah.
Now we're about 12 feet down. You can barely see the bottom of it there. Still trying to get lower to suck out as much groundwater in this area as possible. The large vacuum is now completely filled up. So we brought it down here to our old gravel pit, and Xander's about to open it up. I'm guessing it's just this big hatchet right here, and we're gonna empty everything out so we can go back up to the yard and keep going. That's where you said do it quick, not that other way, or what?
Right. Well, he said, because usually we'll wash it out in the inside too, but...
Oh yeah, since we're gonna keep going? Yeah. And back close it goes. We are about 4 hours into this project so far. I cut out a lot of the clips because basically it's just us three looking into this hole, shooting down some water, sucking out the dirt and grime. But let me show you what we've gotten done and what we've accomplished thus far. So here's the hole that we drilled. It's about 15 foot down to the middle of that. And we're hoping that being lower than the 10 foot of the pit, all the water would naturally draw over here, and then we could just pump this water out. But the problem is, down at the bottom of the 15 foot that we dug, we were hoping there'd be P-rock, which is easy for water to flow through. That way all the water would naturally flow to the spot of least resistance over there. But instead of finding P-rock, we found clay, which is significantly harder for water to flow through. So the plan is now, instead of just drilling straight down and keep bringing up more and more clay, we're gonna try shooting down the power washer and working it at an angle, hopefully bust into those P-rock. Should free up a lot of the water movement over to our hole. So now that we think we're taking all of the groundwater out, which it does look that way, I'm pulling back the tarp and we're gonna keep sucking until the water completely drains out of this pit. Well, we're just gonna leave the pump running down there at the pit, hopefully get a lot of that groundwater sucked up. But it is already almost 4:30 for the day, and the bean plant closes at 5, and we harvested that little 4-acre field of soybeans yesterday. So I'm gonna get the grain cart out, unload those soybeans into a semi-trailer, hopefully make it to town by 5. And the grain cart ain't in here. I forgot we put the combine in this shed last night, which means the grain cart's in the next shed over. Ah, there he is. because we only combined 5 acres the other day, we maybe only have 250 bushel on the grain cart. So it's obviously not gonna fill our 1,000 bushel semi here. So I think I'm gonna get this thing and just put all the grain in the back. That way it won't fishtail as much when I take it to the bean plant. Welcome to the inside of our automatic trucks that we'll be driving this fall. As you can tell, they're pretty easy to drive. Just gotta push in the brake, change the gear down here, take off the 2 parking brakes, and away we go. Now we gotta pop back over into the grain cart to get the bushels unloaded into the semi. And here goes my first time using the grain cart of the year. First we got to open up the gate back there. That's that little slide. Now we need to be at about 1,500 RPMs on our side dashboard, and we will engage the PTO. And out should come the beans. Now normally we don't haul any soybeans to town during the fall, or try to avoid hauling any to town, because we can fit all of them in our large soybean bin right there. But because this year, how dry it's been in September and August, our soybeans dried down fast. So we're actually able to capture about a 40-cent basis improvement over waiting another week. So that's why we only put a few bushels in the grain trailer here, because we're gonna get an extra 40 cents for every bushel that we bring in here this week. It's this one, but it doesn't look like it's going. Let me see if I got a different one. We have like 18 cards in the semis for every place that we haul, and I can never find which one we need. Here's 3 that we don't need. There it is. Looks like the soybean plant got their 2 great big bins up. It'll be nice, especially when we're in the gut of harvest. Hopefully it'll keep the trucks going, because normally they would just pile the grain, where now with those big bins, should speed things up quite a bit. Look at the door on that grain bin. It's a little bit hard to see, but they have a ramp, and that door is big enough that they could bring a full-size skid loader in there. That's really cool. By the looks of the ticket, we brought in 168.33 bushels. The cash price is like 10 bucks. So in total, I just dropped off about $1,680 worth of soybeans. And we made it back home. As you can tell, we have a lot of things outside right now. Now let's head back down over to the bin site and see how our water sucking situation is coming along. Now down here we have a little pump that's just installed for the time being to see if it's gonna work. That's setting down at about 15 foot deep, and that's pumping all the groundwater that it can take right here into this hose, dropping it in this tile, which is then running as well to the creek. As you can tell, inside of the grain pit, there is still a little bit of water left in there. And it's because we're not just draining the little bit of water that's inside the pit, but we're also draining that amount of water, so like 6 inches of water all the way around the pit that's in the P-rock. So all that water needs to get to that hole, then we're pumping that out, then that's going to a separate tile line down to the creek. And if it looks like this solution of what we're doing, having a pump down in that PVC pipe, pumping the water to this tile line is gonna work, then long term we'll probably cut off that PVC, put a nice topper on it, make it look a little fancier. That way it's nothing to trip around, and then eventually bury another tile line down here to this tile line. That way it's all nice and clean and looks basically fresh down here at the pit. But we won't know if this solution is solving our problem, although we hope it's gonna solve our problem, until a couple days when all that groundwater that's built up down there is lowered. I'm curious what you guys think. You think this is gonna solve our problem? I really hope it does, because we've been battling this for the last 3 seasons. So I hope this solves our problem. And if you wanna see if it does, I'd encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below to see and learn about it in a future video. But that's all I got for today's video of High Tech Farmer. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. We'll see ya in the next one.